Hello, you already know that I've been on both sides of the hiring process, interviewing candidates and being interviewed myself. I understand what recruiters look for, what makes a strong self-presentation, and common mistakes that cost candidates opportunities. In this video, we'll break down why job seekers struggle to find the right role and how to fix it. First, it's the wrong positioning. Some candidates underestimate themselves and apply for jobs below their level, while others overestimate their qualifications and apply for jobs that aren't really ready for. What happens is that job seekers see tasks or skills in the job description that they have never done before, and it makes them feel unqualified and stops them from applying. However, the truth is that if you read a job description and realize that you have done everything listed, you may actually be overqualified. For recruiters, this is often a red flag because it suggests that you are likely to get bored quickly and that the company doesn't have anything challenging to offer. That's why it's perfectly normal and even beneficial to apply for roles where you have room to grow. In fact, having some skills or functions that you haven't mastered yet can work to your advantage. When asked about your weaknesses, you can present them as areas for improvement, showing that you are aware of your professional growth and eager to develop new skills and take on new challenges. We will talk about this in the question about your weaknesses. The next mistake is lack of market knowledge. You should remember that every industry, company and location has different levels of competitiveness and hidden requirements behind a formal job description. If you don't research these aspects, you may be applying for the wrong roles or presenting yourself incorrectly. From my experience of working with candidates applying to European and American companies and their offices in Dubai, I've seen how recruitment approaches vary depending on the industry and location. For example, for European and American companies, you should not include your date of birth or a photograph on your CV, as this goes against recruitment practice. In Dubai, however, it is actually beneficial to include these details. Another example is that in Dubai, interviews often include personal questions about your family and personal life, something that would normally be off limits in Western hiring cultures. If you want to fit in, you should be prepared to answer these questions confidently and openly, as they are seen as part of building rapport and assessing cultural fit. One more important nuance is that hiring decisions can sometimes be influenced by cultural background. For example, if a hiring manager is Indian, Russian, or Arab, they may be inclined to hire candidates from their own culture. This is not always the case, but it's a cultural reality in some companies, as it can simplify communication and speed up the workflow. While this practice is not ideal, being aware of it can help you navigate the job market more strategically. Now, let's have a look at why candidates fail to get the job. Even after an interview, many candidates do not receive an offer. There are primary and secondary reasons. So first, primary reasons. Under or overqualification. If you are too experienced, recruiters and hiring managers may think you will leave soon. If you are underqualified, they may doubt your ability to handle the job. Second, insufficient language skills. You may have the right experience, but if you can't express your thoughts clearly in English, you will be excluded from the recruitment process. Next, lack of self-confidence. Confidence is not arrogance. It means being sure of what you are saying, of your abilities, and using the right words and examples from your work history to demonstrate your skills, expertise, and achievements. Finally, poor preparation. If your self-presentation is unstructured, lacks real examples, or if you fail to prepare solid responses, you won't make a strong first impression. Now, let's look at secondary reasons. First, weak communication skills. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. Your interaction with the interviewer, attention to cultural differences, whether you smile and can make the person in front of you feel comfortable during the conversation. Then, cultural fit. Every company has its values and expectations. If your work style and motivations don't align, they might see you as a poor fit. It could be no chemistry with the hiring manager. Let's be real, we are not $100 bills, so we won't be liked by everybody. Sometimes it's just a matter of personality and differences. And salary mismatch. If your salary expectations are much higher than what the company is offering, or if another equally qualified candidate is asking for less, you may lose the opportunity. Hey, don't panic. Let's discuss how to overcome these challenges and secure the job you deserve. Firstly, learn how to position yourself correctly. Second, improve your self-presentation with structured answers and strong examples from your work history. Third, strengthen your communication skills so you can confidently talk about your experience. Finally, develop a smart job search strategy that aligns with your skills, experience, salary expectations, and the market overall. In this course, my team and I will help you master these steps so that when you are at an interview, you will feel prepared, confident, and ready for an important conversation. Let's get started.